Okay.
And then Jesus went back to the city because it was time for him to save Israel and the world. Then Jesus started to do something interesting. He started collecting people. He saw two fishermen who were named Simon. I mean Andrew. Simon, who was also called Peter. And Jesus said, "Follow me." So they got out of their boats and followed Jesus. And he saw someone, Matthew. "I'm a tax collector." Boo! People didn't really like tax collectors back then because they cheated people. But Jesus still said, "Follow me." And Matthew did. And he chose other two fishermen. Thomas, Philip. And they got out of their boats and followed Jesus. Then Bartholomew, Thaddeus, and Judas. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's Andrew, Simon, also John. Also John. John got out of his boat and followed Jesus. And so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12. 12 people. 12 followers chosen by Jesus. And Jesus made them his disciples. And you may ask, what is the disciple? You may ask that. But a disciple is someone that knows how to live by being with their teacher all the time. And Jesus said, "I will teach you how to live a good life." And they're amazed. And they were amazed. Ooh. And Jesus said, not the kind of good life you will live the forever life in the kingdom of God. And the disciples were amazed. They were very surprised.
And then?
I forgot Thomas.
Okay. So they are surprised na. Ano na next?
Then Jesus started to do amazing, unbelievable, incredible, and unimaginable things called miracles. And you may ask, what is a miracle? Miracles are signs that show how strong Jesus is. And let me tell you of three of his miracles. One time, Jesus was on a boat and oh no, a huge storm was taking over the sea. We're gonna die. We're gonna sink. And Jesus was below deck, sleeping like a baby. Until one of the disciples said, "Excuse me, Jesus? Excuse me?" And Jesus said, "Huh? We're all going to die." Then Jesus sat up and said, "Why are you so afraid?" Then Jesus turned to the big, huge storm and said, "Stop!" And the storm stopped. Jesus was showing his disciples that in the kingdom of God, there was nothing to fear. Because Jesus is the king of everything. And another miracle was 5,000 people followed Jesus all over there, and 5,000 people followed Jesus, and they were very, very hungry. They were like, "Oh, I'm so hungry." Me too. I wish I brought a snack. I wish I bought 2 snacks. And one of the disciples said, "Excuse me, Jesus, how are we gonna feed all of these people?" And a little boy came with two bread and 2 small fish. And the disciples said, two bread and 2 small fish. 2 bread, 2 fish. How are you gonna feed 5,000 people with that? But Jesus took the little boy's gift and prayed over it, and he started breaking pieces off, and more pieces, and more pieces, and more pieces. So many pieces that, look, everybody got to eat as much as they want. Jesus was showing them another sign that in the kingdom of God, there's enough of everything. Enough food, enough warmth, and enough love. And this is the last miracle. A desperate man was running to Jesus and said, "Excuse me, Jesus. My daughter's sick and dying. Can you please help her?" And the time when Jesus got there, the little girl already died. But Jesus said, "Don't worry, she's okay." And the little girl came back to life, just like that. So Jesus was showing that Jesus was showing that He's king over sickness and disease, and Jesus is the king of everything. And
Look far away.
and also, is there any more about Jesus?
Look far away.
Also, so many people followed him, and that he had to stand on a high mount, which now we call the Sermon on the Mount. And
Look far away.
people wanted to hear Jesus. Hey, I want to hear Jesus. Oh, you're not the only one here. I guess I'll just sit here. So, Jesus said, "Come to me, all of you who are tired
Look at here.
and sad,
Look here.
and those who are angry and poor. Come to me. I'll give you rest here." And Jesus invited everybody to a new kind of life, the forever kind of life. And Jesus said,
Drink water.
the law says, "Love your neighbors," but I say, "Love your enemies just as much." Okay, I think I'm starting to not like this guy. Then Jesus said, if someone slaps you on your cheek, let them slap your other cheek. Here he goes again. And if someone steals your shirt, give them your coat as well. Okay, I think this guy is crazy. But Jesus wasn't crazy. He was trying to teach them a new kind of life, the forever kind of life, in the kingdom of God. I forgot. And Last Supper? Is Last Supper last? Okay. Last Supper. Jesus and his disciples were celebrating Passover. And you may ask, what is Passover? Remember when God sent Moses to rescue the Israelites from Egypt? And they celebrate the Passover. And also, God sent plague after plague. 10 plagues, but Pharaoh didn't let God's people go and said, "No, I will not let God's people go." And it was time for Pharaoh to see how powerful God is. So Moses and the Israelites celebrated Passover with a special meal. They got the blood of the lamb. They were celebrating Passover with a lamb. And Moses told some of the Israelites to put the blood of the lamb over their houses. And some Israelites took the blood of a lamb and put them on their houses. And when the Israelites were sleeping tonight, an angel saw the blood of the lamb, and you know what he did? He passed over the houses of the Israelites. And the Israelites celebrated Passover with a special meal, just like that one that they had in Egypt. So, and Jesus was going to celebrate Passover. And a lot of people were celebrating Passover too. And when Jesus rode in the city with a donkey, a crowd saw him, and they waved from the branches and laid down in front of him. And they said, "Hosanna, Hosanna, blessed who he comes in the name of the Lord." It was like a parade for a king. But then, wait, stop everything. You're not happy at all. Ah, yes, the Pharisees and Sadducees. If you don't know what's the Pharisees and Sadducees, when Jesus was doing all those kinds of miracles. Oh, Mommy, wait, pause the video. I want to repeat it because I want to see, I want to tell Jesus' life. Pause the video.